Hello everyone, myself Mrs. Jyoti Longani. Today I am going to teach you a very interesting and important subject. And the name of our subject is Organization of Commerce and Management. First of all, we are going to know the meaning of our subject, that is organization, commerce and management. What is organization? Organization means people that works together. Commerce. According to Thomas, commerce is a field of study that deals with the business and its operation. What is the meaning of management? Management is a process of planning, organizing, directing and controlling activities of and using resources of an organization. Now, let us come to chapter 1, namely Introduction to Commerce and Business. All human requires different types of goods and services to satisfy their needs. So they keep themselves busy and do some activities throughout their life. All activities can be classified as economic and non-economic activities. Now human activities are classified in two categories. What are their names? Non-economic activities and economic activities. Now economic activities are again divided into three parts, namely business, profession and employment. Now first we are going to see what are the non-economic activities and what are they related to. So let's see. Non-economic activities. Non-economic activities are those human activities which are performed to satisfy personal, social, religious, cultural and sentimental requirement without any monetary expectation. For example, reading books. When we read book, we read for ourselves. We don't expect anything from anybody. Okay? Serving people. Serving people means when you are at home, when your mom serves you breakfast, tea, coffee, lunch, she doesn't expect anything from you. Okay? Cooking by mother. All these are what? They are non-economic activities. Now let's go to the economic activities. Action that involves production, distribution and consumption of goods and services at all levels within a society is called as economic activities. For example, worker working in a factory. Thus, economic activity facilitates earning livelihood. These activities are performed to earn our livelihood. We don't serve it for ourselves or for our sentimental or emotionals are related to it. We just perform and our main motto of this is to earn profit. Okay. First concept, that is first sub point of economic activity is business. What is business? Business represents organized efforts by an individual or group of individuals. It is a systematic attempt by a business person to produce goods and services and sell them in the market, to reap the reward by the way of profit. The reward we get with performing this activity is nothing but a profit. It satisfies the multiple and complex needs of the society. Production of goods actually means making of goods. It may be agriculture product, finished products in the factories. Goods can be produced with manpower or with the help of machines. When manpower and machines come together, then only we can achieve this motivation of earning profit, and there comes the point of business. Now see, example, cultivating a piece of land and growing food grains is an example of agriculture products. However, converting oil seeds into an edible oil with the help of manpower as well as machine power is an example of manufacturing goods. Okay, now you have seen the difference. Manufacturing of goods involves both manpower and machine power. Okay, and in the case of agriculture products, manpower is 90% activity is dependent upon the manpower. Distribution includes marketing of goods and services. Okay, now these goods are produced. Just we will produce? No. What we have to do? We have to sell this productive goods in the market. Now, what does this involve? Distribution includes marketing of goods and services, a very important part of a business. That distribution including of marketing of goods and services. It involves transport, warehousing, advertising, which facilitate transfer of goods from producer to the final consumer. Okay, this is a very important, very important concept, that the things produced have to reach to the final consumer. Okay, and the point where which the final consumer reaches, at that time the business ends. Okay. Definition of the business according to Professor Haney. What does Professor Haney says? Business activities are all those human activities which are directed towards the production and processing of wealth. This is according to Professor Haney. Now let's see what does Professor Pride and Kapur says. The organized efforts of individuals to produce and sell for the profit the goods and services that satisfy the society needs. Now these are the definition. Now we are going to learn the characteristics, features of business. What does the entire business says? We will study this in detail by the characteristics. Okay. Now there are 6 characteristics. Namely, first one, economic activity, 2 parties, profit motive, production of goods and services, exchange of goods and services, dealing in goods and services. Okay. First one. First comes economic activity. What does economic activity says? Business is an economic activity as it is undertaken to earn money or livelihood. It is not because of love, affection, feeling and sentiment. We have learned this earlier. Okay. For this, 2 parties are required. Namely, every business transaction involves an exchange. Minimum 2 parties are required for exchange. That is seller and buyer. Without these 2 concepts, the business is not possible. The business transaction is a result of an agreement between buyer and seller, which may be oral or written. What is this? This is an agreement. They do the agreement and they perform their economic activities through this agreement. Third one, and very important point, that is profit motive. The business purpose of a business is to earn profit from this activity. Business try to maximize profit either by increasing the volume of sales or reducing its cost. It is the spine of business which keeps the business going on in the long term, and the amount of profit may differ from business to business. Okay. Profit motive. Okay. Now we are going to learn details about profit motive. There is a main motive, that is profit motive. But it is not essential that profit motive may be same in all kinds of business. The profit is different from business to business. Okay. And our 4th point, production of goods and services. Before exchange of goods and services, they should be produced by the business enterprises. Goods are either manufactured or procured from the supplier with the aim of selling it further to the consumption for profit. There is a production of goods and services. Okay. What does this activity involve in it? That there is a production of goods and at the same time services. Goods are produced with the help of the services, and exchange of goods or services, they should be produced by the business enterprise. Goods are either manufactured or procured by the supplier with the aim of selling it further. They don't want to, they just have to produce and keep with them. It is not the motive. What they have to do? They have to send it further. Send it means sell it further. Our 5th point is exchange of goods and services. Business involves transfer of goods and services, that is directly or indirectly. Now we are going to go to our 5th point, that is exchange of goods and services. Business involves transfer of goods and services directly or indirectly with money or money's worth. Monetary exchange is the exchange with the money. Example, buying notebook for the case, for the cash. And on the other hand, in case of the barter exchange, goods and service are exchanged from some other goods and services. Okay, first they used to have a barter system. In barter system, what do? They exchange the thing. Okay, now if I get a book, I will give something else instead of giving him cash. Nowadays, this barter system is not in use. So, in goods and produce for the own consumption, that is stitching dress for a daughter, it cannot be called as business activity. Okay, but stitching of a dress in a tailoring shop and taking stitching charges for the business activity, it is a business activity. Similarly, if goods are donated and or given as a gift, then it cannot be considered as a business activity. Now come to the sixth point, that is a very important point, that is dealing in goods and services. Every type of business transaction is concerned with other goods and services. In the absence of goods and services, business cannot take place. These goods may be consumer goods or capital goods. However, services created for business purpose are intangible, which are essential for doing business. Example, transportation, banking, insurance. First of all, let us come to the word that is tangible and intangible. What is tangible and intangible? Tangible, the purpose of the business is created for intangible. Intangible means it is invisible. Tangible, visible, which we can see, which we can hear, everything we can do. But intangible things which we cannot see, but it is present. Okay, which are essential for doing the business. What are they? Example, transportation, banking, insurance, etc. Now goods. Goods are again divided into two subparts. First one is consumer goods, another is capital goods. Now what does consumer goods involves? Suppose tea, milk, pencil. What are these? Consumer goods. But capital goods, what are the capital goods? Machinery, plant, furniture. Which capital goods are those goods which are used for the consumer goods. Seventh part, that is continuity in dealings. Every business requires regularity in transaction. One single transaction does not constitute business. Example, if a person sells his own motor car and earns profit, then it will not be considered as a business activity. But if he is a car dealer, so he sells and purchases cars regularly, it is considered as a business activity. Uncertain returns. In the business, the returns are never predictable or guaranteed. Businessman may earn profit or suffer a loss. There is always profit in the business, it is not necessary. There are so many risks, okay, which we have to. Now we cannot do the predictions that I will do the business and I will earn number of profits. It is not compulsory and it is not necessary. You may face many kind of losses too. So when you do the business, we have to keep two concepts in mind. At the same time, your motto is to earn profit, but you can face the losses also. This you have to keep in your mind. The ninth point, that is element of risk. Where there is a risk, there is a business. Without risk, there is no business. Risk is a key element of every business, which is concerned with the exposure to loss. It is due to some unfavorable or undesirable event. Every business will have some or the other risk. Intensity of risk can be minimized, but it can be avoided. As I said you, that where there is a risk, there is a business. You can face this risk, you can handle it, but you cannot avoid it. You have to face the risk, etc. Natural. Now see, what does this risk have? What are the kind of this risk? Risk like fashion, changes in the method of production, fire, theft, natural calamities, etc. No business is free from all above factors. Now first concept, that is dislike, where you have produced the good. Consumers do not like it, is there any use of their production? No, there is no use of production. Fashion, changing fashion, day to day fashions are changing. You have produced the outdated fashion, consumer is not ready to purchase it. What you can do? You can change your stitching method. You can study about the customer, what they need. This risk can be avoided. But methods of production, fire, theft, natural calamities, this cannot be controlled or handled by the human. These are natural calamities. This will happen. You can do the consideration about the natural calamities for like fire, theft, insurance are available. This you can do. But natural calamities, you can't face it. You have to face it. You can't avoid it. And no business is free from all above factors. 10th point and very important point. Without this point, business is not possible. That is customer satisfaction. Where there is a customer satisfaction, there is a high power of business. Customer satisfaction is the ultimate aim of all economic activities and business. When and where there is a customer satisfaction, the business production, business goods and business services are smoothly handled and easily reach to the consumer. Modern business believe in satisfying the customer by providing quality products and services at a reasonable price. And the purpose of the business is to create and retain the customers. Have you got the features very clear? Now let us go to the another concept. Our second concept, our subtopic of our economic activities is profession. Now what is profession? Profession is that part of economic activities under which a person uses his educational knowledge and special skill to render services for earning some income. For example, doctor, lawyer, chartered accountant, etc. See, these people, they have an art. What they need not perform all the activities like producing goods, reaching it to customer, again customer is satisfied or no. These professions are their profession, their art. Doctors have their own art to treat the patient. Lawyer have a art of dealing with the day-to-day cases. Okay. Chartered accountant, all this accountant, financial management, all these issues are handled by whom? Chartered accountant. This is an art. If each and every person, you and me, can't handle this financial accounts, but a chartered accountant, he is eligible to handle all the financial matters which are very, very necessary. Okay. Now what are the features? Now let us see the features of the profession. Aim. Every profession has an aim and it is practiced for earning money. All they render services to their clients and solve their problems. Doctors solve the health issues. Lawyers solve the physical, mental and financial cases, whereas chartered accountant handle all the financial matters. Qualification. A profession can be practiced only after acquiring required qualification. Each profession has a certain set of body of knowledge. This knowledge has to be acquired only by a systematic and formal training. This qualification is there is a profession. You have to go through the entire process of it. You have to follow it and then only you will have the qualification, and this knowledge has to be acquired only by a systematic and formal training. One cannot practice profession unless and until their knowledge is required. You have to study the entire process of it and you have to go through all the trainings. You can do it. Personal practice is not involved in this profession. Financial returns. Professional gets fees in exchange of their services. What they get? They give good services to the customers. Okay, they solve their problems. In return, what they get? In the exchange of their services, they get a fees. Income received by a professional is not fixed. It differs from profession to profession. Professionals can be employed in an organization or self-employed. A working chartered accountant gets salary but does not. Those who practice privately, that is self-employed, get fees. Difference you might have understand. It matters from profession to profession. Like business have profit and it has difference from business to business. Likewise in profession also we have a difference in the profit, that is different profession has a different profit making. Now we go to the fourth concept, that is capital. Profession can be practiced independently or professionally can work under the someone. An independent practicing professional requires huge capital for setting his practice. Profession can be practiced independently or profession can work under someone. But independent practice professional requires huge capital. Huge capital is required for the independent practice. Okay. Now here I